Watch the dot.
Sarah learned a new thing this week.
I'm staring at the camera, not at myself. Okay, hey guys.
Hello.
Hello
So
again.
Friday afternoon, and it is so deliciously warm on the Sunshine Coast. It's like 53 degrees here
describe
today.
it as delicious.
Sarah doesn't like it. I am in heaven.
I don't mind it if I'm swimming, but I'm not.
You could go swim.
I will.
Yeah, you will.
Okay, let's get to action.
Yeah, so we've had a great week this week being the first of spring,
Yeah.
and we've really sort of embraced the idea of spring cleaning, and we've been giving you some really cool videos for you to sort of get inspired as to what to do yourselves. But we thought we would bring you, just as our finale for our Go Live this week,
Our top 5.
top 5 things that we've done in our life, and we suggest other people can also incorporate in their life to reduce the load.
The toxic load.
The toxic load in the body.
Go for number 1. Number 1 tip from us to reduce your toxic load is to reduce the chemicals in your personal products and in your home products, so cleaning products and things like that. So as you know, we love to use doTERRA. I've reduced my perfumes, my deodorants, all my shampoos, soaps, anything that goes on my body. I do not use chemicals.
No, I am even at that stage where I refuse to use soap that's in bathrooms and public toilets and stuff like that. Airports, I'm about to go off again.
Yeah.
I always take my own product with me, so I never have to use
the bad
stuff that's there.
Yeah, we get a choice.
Yeah.
What to put in our body, and our skin is our biggest organ on our body and absorbs so quickly into our bloodstream. So why would you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're going to come up to a couple other things, but honestly, what we put in our body affects our hormones.
Yeah.
It affects our mood. It affects our health. And if you have the control, because sometimes you don't have control.
Yeah.
You may live in a city that's got pollution and you've got no control over that. But what do you have control of is something as simple as taking care of your body with what you put on and how you clean your environment. Great.
Can I just say one thing?
Only one.
When you start, you might feel like it's just too hard. Just start with the one thing, because this has been a journey over years for both of us. And just start with the one, and then slowly, take away or introduce better things.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, food.
Food. So yeah, how it can really tax our system if we overload it with the incorrect things. Yeah. So, again, there's no judgment here, and everybody's going to do what they want to do. I'm just going to use the word reduce.
Yeah.
So we want to reduce things like sugars, and that is obviously processed and refined sugars, but it also comes into like how much fruit are you eating? Like that natural sugar will convert itself into a carbohydrate will convert itself into a sugar, and then that can wreak havoc on your body if you are not metabolizing it correctly. Things like obviously your processed foods, of course, we've got to reduce that.
Yeah.
Alcohol, I know a lot of people like to drink it. It's okay to drink it, but like just see how much you're doing regularly ongoing kind of stuff, like all of that kind of stuff. Surely you could reduce that. That'll make a massive impact to your body. And then also reducing, I've forgotten what I said.
Caffeine.
Oh, caffeine, of course, caffeine. So yeah, everyone loves a coffee or two or tea or whatever it may be. But that, when you really delve into the science of this, we went to a Dr. Libby event last night. And again, just to hear her talk is just incredible. And she just reiterates how these 3 things particularly, of course, but caffeine in general, just wreaks havoc on those hormones of adrenaline and cortisol. Like, we need them for good things. We don't need them all the time to be, running the race for us.
It's true. And again, it's just limiting. Like, if you're someone who has 8 cups of coffee a day, and people do, surprisingly, just reduce it to maybe 5 to start off with, and then 3, and then maybe 1, and then maybe 3 a week. So it's just a matter of not cutting everything, because I think it's too hard.
Just for some people. Some people have a personality that they prefer to just go cold turkey.
Yeah, that's you.
Not necessarily. Some things, maybe.
Yeah, and I think anything within a packet, reduce that, because then that brings us on to our next one.
Number 3.
Most of these terrible processed foods do come in the form of a plastic packaging.
Yes.
And then that moves us on to recycling.
So recycling, exactly. Again, some things we have control of and some things we don't. So you can go and buy your fruit and veg without having all the plastic. You can pull it out the ground if you're able to grow it yourself. But sometimes you are under the influence of a supermarket or something, and it comes in a box or it comes in a plastic bag. What do you do with that? Do you put it in your normal cycling or do you put it in the recycling bin?
It doesn't take much just to separate your rubbish. You know, we have recycling bins for a reason, and sometimes when we're in a rush, we just chuck it all in the one. But yeah, take that time so because every little bit of small change makes a difference.
Yeah.
So and composting, you did a really cool thing this week.
So that's number 4.
4, yeah.
Number 4 is the composting.
Sorry.
So we watched the documentary 2040, and we got really inspired by that, about how we can make positive change just starting today. Like we don't have to talk about the badness in the world. We can talk about what can we do to make a positive change. And so I've never done this because I don't grow my own vegetables or anything at home. And I'm like, what do I do with all this excess food? So now I've got myself a container, and all my excess food scraps and, you know, peelings and pulps and all that kind of stuff I've put into a bag. And we have a community garden in our village in Perigian, and I just went and put it on the scrap pound there. I mean, like scrap mound. You know, what a fantastic option for me to just make use of what I don't need anymore. So
exactly.
The worms get it. Love it.
Yeah, and if you have a garden and make your own compost. It's so easy. You can buy them easily from Bunnings. What?
Yeah, I was going to say, does anyone who's watching, does anyone have a compost heap that they create themselves or grow their own vegetables? I'd be fascinated to know.
We used to, when we lived on acreage, we just made a little wooden box, just chucked it in, and gosh, that compost, and you dig it out and put it on your garden. I used to have wild capsicums growing just from the seed in my compost.
Wow.
And wild little Lebanese cucumbers that would just grow up in my garden just from the seeds from my compost.
Wow, you are so rural. I love it.
Yeah, that was a few years ago, but one day again. Okay, let's see number 5. This is really important, this one. One of my favorite ones, not favorite, but, you know, important ones, is mental. It's not just physical, but the mental toxins that go in the form of like our thoughts or even the things that we allow. I was just saying to Amanda before, the shows that you watch, you know, are they rubbish? Are they infiltrating your mind with junk? You know, thoughtless scrolling through Facebook, you know, people on there that you don't really need to be seeing that are causing you to feel insecure or jealous or, you know, toxic thoughts in your mind. If you know that they're affecting you in a way you don't like, remove it. That's what I think. So
yeah,
what do you want to say about that?
I think what you've said is fantastic. You know, I'm someone who has never enjoyed reading newspapers because it actually bores me and upsets me. Like I get too depressed by the news in the world, because unfortunately, in my experience, when I read a newspaper, I just hear bad. I don't hear uplifting things. Trashy magazines are called trashy magazines for a reason. I do not care to see celebrities that have got a little bit of cellulite in a bikini on a yacht. Like, I really do not have time for that in my life.
Yeah.
I would way rather spend that time playing in the garden with my dog. He brings me so much more joy.
Find those things that fill your mind with happiness. And it could be, with your dog, or reading an awesome book, or listening to a motivational podcast, or things that are going to uplift you, and remove those. It's like we did this exercise. What was it? A little visual a few months ago, where the more you think your mind up with good things, the bad things come out. So instead of trying to think, remove that, start filling it up with the things you know encourage you and make you happy. And those bad things, there's no room for them anymore. Like games on a...
Oh yeah, we did the deleting of the games. Gosh, we had a big year, haven't we?
Have.
Wow.
Anyway, that's 5.
Those are our 5.
Yeah.
So, home and personal products, number 1. Changing how you eat and things in food is number 2. Recycling plastics from others. Number 3, composting if you can with food. Sorry, 3. 4. And then 5, mental and emotional health.
Yes.
Hey, Crystal, how are you?
Hi, Crystal.
Hope you're having a fab day. So those are all the things that we have to share for you today. And let us know in comments how you enjoy, if you enjoy any of those things that we've mentioned.
Yeah, and if you've got some tips, hey, feel free to share. We love to learn.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Bye.